And now I take that lens in front and focus it to a tiny point that's as close to the laser as I can get it. And here I let that match to show where that focal point is.
Now in order to set up your optical trap at home, you first make sure that the air is very still around you. Now you take the marker and stick the very tip of it inside the focal point of that laser beam, and then slowly draw it back. Now sometimes you'll see some little particles there trapped in the focal point of that beam. Now you can even move around the laser very slowly, and those particles will stay trapped in that beam there. In fact, this effect has been known about for several decades now. And there's something called optical tweezers, where scientists use beams of light to move around little particles like cells in front of a microscope. And there's actually a Nobel Prize awarded for this discovery. Now if you take a look at the math behind this effect, you see that by bending the light at a stronger angle, you get more of this trapping effect. So the effect is best with materials with a high index of refraction. Now diamonds have an extremely high index of refraction. They bend light really strongly. So it would seem that diamonds would be a great material to levitate in a laser beam. Now I'm not the first guy to think of levitating diamonds with a laser beam. There's actually a guy by the name of Nick Vamivakis that levitates diamonds for experiments in quantum physics. I went on eBay and bought this bag of diamond powder for something like $8. So this is not an expensive experiment to perform. Here I have my diamond powder and my laser in a very still room. And now I started by trying sprinkling some of those little diamonds into the laser beam, and I couldn't get any of them to stick. I was making too many air currents for that. But when I stuck the diamond powder on a piece of paper and then picked up the laser and put that powder in the center of the focal point, I was able to pick up some of those diamonds there. And what you're seeing are actual frickin' diamonds being levitated by frickin' laser beams. Amazing. So the gist of this explanation is that light is an electromagnetic wave, and the particle that's floating inside the laser beam is an insulator. It's a dielectric, and it gets polarized in response to the electric field. Now we're going to assume that this dipole is perfect because it makes the math a lot easier. So then you hit it with the Lorentz force law, which is the fundamental force of electromagnetism. It says how much force a charged particle will experience when it's inside of a electromagnetic field. And then you hit it with a lot of math, a lot of vector calculus. And then after all this nonsense, you get a force that's proportional to the gradient in intensity in the laser beam.
Yeah, I guess that's about it for this video. So until the next time, stay safe and happy lasing.